What is up, lady? Welcome to my channel once again. And today, guess where I am? In the tennis court with one renowned coach in South Africa, Pretoria. And I've observed him train kids, train grown-ups, both genders, male and female. And he is very dedicated to his job, and I thought it is good for me to bring him onto my channel. So I'm sure you're also interested, you're also curious to know who he is. So we'll ask him to introduce himself to my viewers. So please, something small about you. We want to know you.
Okay, my name is Alfred.
Yeah.
And my surname is Tanta.
Tanta? Okay.
I was born in the Limpopo province. I'm actually from Limpopo province.
Okay.
So I've moved into Pretoria 2005 while I was doing my studies.
Wow. Okay.
So I've been here quite a while. So I know my way around Pretoria.
I see.
And I don't really go by my full name, Alfred. I go by Alfie. Everybody's calling me Alfie.
I also know him by Alfie.
In the coaching in the coaching industry, I'm all known by Alfie. So yeah, I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I'm doing. So hey, basically that's me. Anything sports, I get involved. I'm a very active person. I'm very active at the club where I'm coaching. I'm very active with the academy that I'm involved with, and yeah.
So what's the name of your club that you coach?
The club that I work for, actually I've merged with, it's called Eliteprotennis Academy. Elite
Okay, Elite Pro. I can see from his chest, he has the badge on his chest. That's really nice. Okay, you say you're coming from Limpopo. How far is Limpopo from Pretoria?
Limpopo from Pretoria, it's about 200 and something k's. So I'm not really far into Limpopo. I'm just about an hour drive. So I'm actually in the gateway to Limpopo. So I'm actually from Bela Bela. It's called Bela Bela. Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm a small town called Bela Bela.
I see. Okay. So now, who introduced you to tennis? How did tennis come all about?
Sure. Like I've said, I've been into sports.
Okay.
So it was a couple of years ago. I've been doing athletics. That was one of the sports that I've been very good at. And
was it
then
4x4, 100 meters?
100 meters, 200 meters.
Okay,
I used to be good in a 200 meter relay as well, and I will do long distance as well. So I'm very active. So sportive and active. So I started tennis. I think it was 2007. It's a long time ago since I've started. I mean, I wasn't a tennis player. I was playing basketball and other sporting activities. And then tennis was introduced by my uncle. My uncle used to be a tennis coach in Bela Bela. So I would normally see him on the court with other kids. And then I got involved. So he's the one who introduced me into the sport.
So I see that you've coached all different kinds of races, and then when I came here this afternoon, I heard you speak Afrikaans. Is it part of the requirement for you to learn how to coach? Because you need languages to know how to coach. Is it important to learn other languages?
It's very important to. I think with me, when I grew up, my mom took me to an Afrikaans school. So I've started Afrikaans at a very young age. So I've always wanted to learn the language. I think it was one of the languages that I was very obsessed about. I don't know how, but then it was something that I was very obsessed to learn. Even if I didn't understand the language, I would listen to the radio station. I would read books. I would watch stories. Still, I didn't understand the vocabulary, but then through listening and then through reading, I got to actually get to know the language and then speak it very well. I think yes, it is one of the requirements. I mean, in the country that we are in, if you're bilingual, it's very good. You know, you can maneuver around different races, and then I work with different personalities. If kids don't understand this word in English, and I get to translate it in Afrikaans, so it makes it a little bit easier for me.
So I know you teach all ages. Which of the ages do you enjoy teaching, and why?
I've been working, since I've started coaching, I've been working with a little bit younger ages. I think from 5 years
From 5
years, yes. I take kids from 5. I think it's a bit challenging, but then it's very overwhelming, and it gets so exciting to see a 5-year-old learning how to throw a ball, learning how to roll a ball, learning how to hit the ball over the net. So from 5 years, and then I go to whatever age is everybody's comfortable with. I go through all the ages basically.
Okay, so you enjoy each?
I enjoy. I think my most favorite age will be coaching 5 to 6 year olds.
Okay, so now I want to be gender biased. I ask him, which gender do you enjoy coaching, male or female? Or now we have the third gender, right? So which one do you enjoy coaching?
I enjoy both genders. I enjoy it because, like I said, I work with different personalities. So having to work with both genders it's very nice. I think that normally they would say in the tennis world, boys are more fast learning than the girls, but then you tend to get girls that are super talented, and then you get boys that are also very super talented.
So can you take us through a typical day of a tennis coach when you're coaching? What are the things that for you will be more important to coach, from beginners to play and then advance?
I would say the most challenging part about coaching, it will be more beginners.
Beginners, okay.
Yeah, beginners, because it's more you have to be very technical.
Yeah.
And then it depends on the age group that you're coaching. You always have to be very fragile in terms of the person that you're coaching. So, I mean, parents will always look at what you do and then how you're handling their kids.
Yeah.
And then how does the kid actually respond to what you do. I think I have my way with the kids. So I don't normally struggle coaching a 5-year-old beginner or an adult beginner as well. So I make it more equal on both ages. Yes.
So what motivates you in the court?
My motivation on the court will be somebody who works very hard, somebody who's dedicated, somebody who's passionate about what they're doing, somebody who is willing to go an extra mile to get better, and then somebody who feeds from my energy. I think I'm somebody who's very energetic, somebody who's very intense as well. So if somebody feeds from the energy that I have and then they start applying to the stuff that I ask them to do, it gets more interesting, it gets more fun on the court. So that is more motivation for me, to have somebody who's have the will to work. Yeah.
So how do you approach kids who are unteachable, or even adults who are unteachable? You've tried all you can, but still they are not getting what you're teaching them. How do you go around it?
I think motivation is one of the motivation and instilling confidence in a player who's really struggling. At the end of the day, as a coach, you have to have different methods. You have to have different method in terms of how you want to get somebody who's really struggling getting to do what you ask them to do. I mean, we use different gag methods in terms of getting a kid or an adult to hit the ball over the net. At the end of the day, the goal is not to give up.
The goal is not to give up. So I know you are from a family, and definitely when you announce to your family that you want to take tennis coaching as a profession, how was the reaction towards you by your parents or siblings?
With my family, it wasn't much of how they will react in terms of what I do. I mean, I've always been somebody who's very active. Like I said, I've done a couple of sports here and there. I mean, I would say I got raised by a single parent. So my mom wasn't really involved in the stuff that I would do, but then she would know that I'm playing basketball. She would know that, oh, Alfie's doing athletics, or Alfie's playing tennis. And then she will do the most in terms of supporting me, in terms of gearing me up and then preparing me for stuff that I need to go participate. But then not much getting the support with her coming to the court or coming to watch me do athletics or play tennis. They're very supportive. I would say my sister, for one, she knows what I'm doing at the moment. My mom also knows, and then they know what I'm capable of. So the support is there now, because now it's my bread and butter. It's something that I put on the table. So they're really supportive.
So it's tennis paying.
Tennis, I mean, like I said, it's like I said, it's my bread and butter. So I have to do what it takes. As somebody who's growing, as somebody who's running as the head coach of the academy, I need to make sure that at the end of the day I do my work, and then at the end of the month I get my salary. So in terms of tennis paying, as a professional coach, you have to make sure that you do your work to get they always say value for money. So definitely it does.
In your narration, you did mention that you were raised by a single parent, and you know that in Africa, or even all over the world, there are a lot of single parents. And I want you to look into the camera to advise children who are being raised by single parents, how you were very attentive to your parents for you to end up becoming a super tennis coach. Any advice for kids who are not listening to their single moms or single dads? Any advice? Because you are hands-on, you have experiences, so it will be good to hear it from the horse's own mouth so that it can motivate others. Because what we realize is most of the time, children who are raised by single parents go wayward most of the time.
Yeah.
And you didn't. So what was the next factor for you?
I think what's important with every kid or every family that's got a single parent raising them, it's I think when we look at our parents trying the utmost best, especially a single parent, doing almost everything that they can to make sure that you have a roof over your head, and then you have food on the table, and then you have clothes to put on your body, and then you have water to wash your body and everything. We sometimes tend to think our parents are not doing the most. And then when our parents are trying to discipline us, it's more or less we want to have our own little way, where else when our parents are disciplining us, it's more a way of grooming us and then to get us prepared for the big world. I think my mom would always say to us, you guys will grow up one day, and then you will see how life goes. You will see all the sacrifices that I've been making. So my mom was a superwoman.
Oh,
as much as she was a single parent, and then she was working away from home, but then she would make sure that everything that I needed is there when she leaves for work every Monday morning, and then when she comes back every Friday afternoon, she would be asking me how well, because I used to stay with my grandma before she passed on. So it was always, she did everything for us. She did everything for me and my sister. And then for me being here, standing as a person today, and then doing what I love doing, I think she has done it all. She has done it all. Any job opportunities in tennis? Yes, job opportunities are there in tennis. I think if you're passionate, I mean, I would speak in sports in general. If you're very passionate about what you do, and then if you've been very active all your life, and then there is, I mean, we all go to universities, we study, and then you submit your CVs, and then there is jobs, opportunities, and then you don't get to be the job that you studied for. You can take sports or whatever that you are very talented with in consideration. So I took tennis, I did some coaching lessons. Obviously you have to be qualified to be a tennis coach or to be any other a coach in any other sports. So there are job opportunities, there are posts here and there that are published on the TSA website. So yeah, there's definitely is opportunities in the tennis world.
That's good to know that at least whatever you study in the university, you must have another thing as a second form.
There we go, definitely.
Yeah, so that will also bring me to the next question. What did you study at the university?
I was more involved in the business studies. Business studies. I did business studies in college. And then when I went to the university, I studied public personal management.
Oh, wow. Which you
and
then
it was just a certificate. It was just a year course that I've studied. And then I've also studied office management and technology.
Oh, whoa.
Yes. And then I mean, with what I said, with no jobs coming, I started to take tennis coaching serious, and then this is what I do 6 days a week as a full time. Yes.
Wow, that's nice to hear. So you said your tennis club is at the Murrayfield Tennis Club, and I know it is more of Africans and other race here. How well are you integrated? Because when I come, it looks like you are the only black coach. How well are you integrated, and what keeps you going?
I've been coaching here for many years, so I got to be part of the family. I think I've been coaching here in Murrayfield more than 10 years. So being involved with the club has been fulfilling. I mean, what I do on a daily basis, the club members get to see the parents when they come to the club, where they come to the park to walk their dogs or to have the kids playing on the park. They see what I do, and then I think I sometimes find it so overwhelming that I'm the only, I would say, black person that is coaching here. And then the club will normally ask me, when are you bringing some of your race into the club? And I always say they are here, they're taking lessons, but then for them to join the club, it's a little hiccups here and there, but then they're promising to join in the near future. So I'm very involved in the club. Parents are happy, club members are happy, and then there's also schools in the neighborhood, basically, in the neighborhood that they bring their kids to me, and then they get tennis coaching.
So you said you've been in the club for 10 years. How long have you been teaching tennis in totality?
Sure. I would say I started coaching tennis, I would say when I started playing 2007.
Wow. Okay, you said it earlier on.
I started earlier on, but then I wasn't taking it serious because I was so busy playing basketball on the other courts at home. And then in the very same year when I started coaching or playing tennis, I actually got involved in the school sports. They were very popular. They're still popular even now, the school sports. So I got very fortunate enough to coach the first team in Limpopo province for the Africa Games that were held in Bloemfontein. So ever since then, being the head coach, I started having more interest in it, and then I got qualified as a tennis coach in 2010. That is when I started becoming a professional tennis coach in 2010.
2010. That's nice. Where can prospective students reach you?
Prospective students or learners or any client that is interested in tennis, they can reach me on my contact details, which is 063 051 9385 or 072 881 0940. Or they can visit our website, which is proelitetennis@gmail.co.za, or also visit the club where I'm coaching, which is Murrayfield Tennis Club at gmail.co.za.
So I'll put all the details in the description below. Now, any advice for the youth in South Africa who think that they cannot take up coaching or any sports as a career? Any advice, apart from taking it up as a career, any advice which will help in developing the youth in our society?
I would say you are passionate about. It can be sport, it can be anything that you are passionate about. If you are self-driven, if you're motivated, if you've got all the etiquettes, I think you stand a good chance of making it in anything that you put your mind to. Sports in general, there's a lot of us out there that don't think sports in general doesn't get to pay the bills, or it shouldn't take it as a career. We get our professional players out there that are taking it very serious, but then we also need professional coaches here in South Africa that will represent our professional players as well as within the country and then outside the country. So passion, being self-driven, being motivated, and then being very consistent and then being persistent, it's the way to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Alfie, it's nice talking to you. And I'm sure today will not be the last time I'm having an interview with you. Maybe I will have to come one of the days when he's in tournament, and I'll show you how he does it. I'm sure at the end of the interview you will see him coaching other children and you see his skills. Thank you so much. I'm sure we have to greet with the racket, right?
Thank you so much.
And then I want to show him the Ghanaian handshake. So this is how we shake the Ghana. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are. He's strong. I can see he's really strong. And then
thank you so much.
And then we're going to snap our fingers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how it. So on that note, some lady would like to say a big thank you. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a family about who Zop lady, and kindly subscribe to my channel. See ya.
Thank
We
you.
want to say
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Bye. Kijk, ga ik weer oor. Begin van oor af. Concentreer op jou eie bal, concentreer op wat jy moet eintlik doen. Eerste, waar concentreer, waar is jy? Dan kry jy die bal dan